News brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, everybody. It is Thursday, and we are headed toward Friday and the weekend, which is always nice. And I think we'll start out with a little bit of news this morning on this Thursday. What do you say?
I say that sounds like a plan, Stan.
Sounds like the normal plan. Springfield City Council will hold a public hearing on July 22nd on a new 3/4 cent sales tax that will replace the one that expires in March of next year. That tax funds the police and fire pension fund. Citizens Commission recommended replacing that tax, which generates about $45 million a year. The council has to approve ballot question language. Their final decision, the council will make a final decision expected at their meeting coming up on August 5th. So it looks like there's nothing that's going to hold that up. The tax has been in place for a long time. It's going to expire. They're just going to replace it. It doesn't mean new tax money. It just means the same tax money as we're doing now. Yeah. Camden County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help to identify a group of people who dined and dashed at Lake of the Ozarks, and in the process, pushed a waitress into the lake when she tried to collect on the group's $150 tab. The waitress at Fish and Company restaurant says about 3 people in the group pushed her into the water before they got into the boat and took off without paying for their bill. Deputies released surveillance pictures of those 3 people. They're hoping now you or somebody else in the public might be able to identify them.
What will that be? Like 3rd-degree assault?
It would be assault, I would imagine. Misdemeanor assault?
Misdemeanor assault, right?
I mean, I suppose if she didn't know how to swim, she could drown in the lake. So, I mean, it depends on what the prosecutor wants to do.
Yeah.
But it ain't cool. I know that.
Yeah, it's going to be bad for them because somebody knows them. All right, Fair Grove, beware, you are under a boil water advisory. The city says water from a sample test was positive for E. coli and coliform. Yuck. They will continue to test that water until all things come back negative, so be advised. The city will keep you posted on that. Meanwhile, Republic is growing, and so is the city's wastewater treatment system because it is necessary. It's about to get a big overhaul and get more capacity. The DNR is giving Republic about $50 million in a low-interest loan, and that financing will save the city and thus taxpayers millions of dollars.
Cool.
So the work should be finished at the end of 2026.
All right. Yeah, Republic is growing, isn't it?
It is. And with that, I was reading about the capacity that is needed, I guess, with population growth at wastewater treatment, which is just one thing that your average Joe doesn't think of, you know?
Yeah, you got to have city planners and all that infrastructure in place because if you grow too much, you can't handle it. They've got a lot of apartments going up out there.
I know. See, I just think of things like roads, stoplights, you know, but I'm like, oh, makes sense.
Yep.
There's more poop. Too. There's more poop to be dealt with.
Considerably more.
So, yikes.
We got to do something with all that. The Missouri Department of Transportation is asking for public input on upgrades to Interstate 44. I just drove that last weekend, and it'd be nice to have a 3rd lane each way. So I'm rooting for that. But, man, that process of getting it is not going to be pleasant.
Yeah, seriously.
It's going to be rough. They're hosting a series of public meetings this summer, starting this month, July 25th. That's a Thursday. The first one's happening at Crossway Baptist Church. That is on Interstate 44, as you know, at 4:30 in the p.m. Then there's one in Lebanon, St. Clair, Rolla, Joplin. The funding is there for these planned upgrades. We just talked about the budget that the governor passed, so it includes a lot of money to work on Interstate 44. But the State Highway Department would like to hear first from the people who drive it, you and me. So the upgrades will go from Joplin through Springfield, and Springfield's getting some stuff done first, all the way up to St. Louis and back. And that's going to be a job.
It's going to be great eventually. You just got to hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Women, this story is for you. Tampons from 14 different brands all had measurable levels of toxic metals, specifically arsenic and lead. That
Wow.
sounds dangerous.
Wow.
Researchers found that they had 16 different metals total, all 14 brands, by the way. The question now is, does that affect a woman's health? You would think so, but apparently that question has not been answered. So that's what they're looking at right now.
Well, I can't imagine it helps anything.
No.
Lead?
And there's way too much detail in that story to go into, but suffice to say, it's a sensitive part of your skin that is even more susceptible to things like that shouldn't be there. So,
Absorption is much greater.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's terrible. It's terrible. I mean,
terrible.
And we wonder why we got disease all over the place. This is stuff we're putting in our bodies. I mean,
Yeah.
this way and every other way. Man, oh man.
I know. Man, oh man, is right. Okay. One more reason that I think sports betting is ill-advised. I've already gotten on my soapbox before. I know the vast majority of Missourians apparently support it. Here's why I think it's a problem. Are you ready? Just one more reason added to the list. Former NBA player, 24 years old, Jonte Porter, who was already banned from the league, admitted that he schemed to take himself out of ball games for gambling purposes. He pleaded guilty to federal conspiracy charges. He acknowledged that he agreed to withdraw early from games so that 4 co-conspirators could win bets on his performance or lack thereof. Why? Because he himself needed to get out from under major gambling debt.
Yeah.
He's 24 years old.
Well,
he's addicted to gambling. His attorney says that he's actually a really good kid. Emphasis on the word kid, because I know he's 24.
He played at Missouri. He was a Tiger.
And they call him a kid because he is behaving like one, because now it's an addiction. Now it's hard to stop.
Well, you don't have to be a kid to get yourself in that situation. But that's
this
my
is
concern.
True, but my point is he's young to be now facing prison time. He could get up to 20 years for this.
Yeah.
And he's not, otherwise like a criminal. Like this is, you know what I'm saying?
This was created because he had the opportunity.
Yeah, he probably is actually a super cool guy, but now he could be 20 years in prison for something that was kind of created. Yes.
Yeah, it's sad. And I'm surprised that so many sports organizations, pro sports,
are for it. No, they're all for it's money. It's money.
They're all for it though. It doesn't make sense to me.
They're for it because they're for money.
Well, I don't know how they make money on it. It just creates more interest in games, I suppose. But anyway, you're just asking for something bad to happen, and here it did.
Yeah,
how many other
I feel
times?
Bad for him. Honestly, I do. I feel sad for him because 24 years old. I mean, it's definitely an adult, but still, it's a young enough man that you're like, golly.
Well, he had a good life. He's playing in the NBA, making good money, and now he's throwing it away. So hopefully, he'll be able to salvage it, and it won't end up terrible. But man, you start heading down that road, it's tough to get it back between the lines.
And it'll depend what the judge does, because I mean, if he gets 20 years, that
he's not going to get 20. He's not going to get 20 years, but
he
may
could,
get.
If they want to make an example out of him, he very well could.
Well, 20 years is, come on, for a nonviolent crime. I don't think so. But anyway, hopefully other players are watching, because they got to be careful. Bolivar Hunters, there's a managed deer hunt to tell you about, archery only. You can apply now to take part. You have to apply in person. Do so at the Public Safety Center there on West Walnut in Bolivar. The deadline to apply is August 30th. So most hunters probably know about that if they're interested in that sort of thing. But if not, if you know somebody, tell them. There you go.
And Ethan, while I'm reading, you look this up. Hurry. 2515 South Campbell. I meant to look this up before we started, and I forgot.
It's right across from where the wind is. It's
Oh, okay. Well,
It's
how
by
about that?
the cookie place. What did we talk about?
Palm and Paddle Grill is now opened essentially on South Campbell and Sunset.
Yeah.
There you go. South Campbell at Sunset. That's what I was going to look for.
Dirty Dough. It's
Was
the
the
same
cross
place.
street. Okay. Palm and Paddle serves food inspired by the Caribbean islands. How
Yeah, we
about
talked
that?
about that when it's a big building that they said we got a couple things in there. They got that Dirty Dough, and are they doing pickleball in there? No, I think I'm getting a couple things confused. But the paddle is what made me think that.
Yeah. Anyway, new restaurant. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Also, if you didn't know, it is Shark Week. And I feel like
do know.
everybody knows that. I feel like everyone knows it's Shark Week
I know.
because there have been so many shark attacks, which is not funny. I don't know why I had like a little chuckle in my voice. Maybe it's because I saw it coming. That's maybe why. Wonders of Wildlife is inviting everybody to come see a cinematic adventure at the Gilloys Theater, as they are presenting Jaws.
Yes.
Yep.
One of the
don't miss
best movies
chance.
ever.
There you go. It's happening at the Gilloys. Yes, that is indeed how you say it. It is the 12th. So tomorrow at 7:30
Friday night.
in the PM.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Jaws, I mean, I'd like to see it on the big screen. I've never seen it on the big screen because I was a kid when it came out, like a little kid, because it was 76, 77, I think, Jaws. At any rate, seen it several times since then. Freaked me out. I'm scared of the ocean. I'm surprised I was in it a few weeks ago. Thankfully, that was the week before all of the actual shark attacks that started taking place around the Destin area where we were.
I wonder if we would have changed behavior. Would we have reversed course?
Well, I mean, we wouldn't have canceled the vacation, but I would have been in the water less. I would have been closer to shore.
Yeah. Anyway, there you
For
go.
sure.
So yeah, Friday night, 7:30, Jaws at the Gilloys. And
Yeah.
that is, by the way, Springfieldians, I'm not saying it incorrectly. We asked the director of the theater, and it is the Gilloys. We're trying to correct Springfield's language
Well, it's
because
named after a guy, a business owner.
PT, not PT Barnum. AB.
I don't know. I wasn't going to try to figure that out, but it's a guy last name Gilloys.
Maurice or something like that.
And he pronounced
Maurice
I don't know.
Gilloys.
But he pronounced it Gilloys. There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
So we're on a mission to correct all of Springfield's language from the Gilloys to the Gilloys.
Pronounce it how you want.
Yeah, no, Jeff said let him know. Let him know how it's done. So we're letting him know.
All right.
There you go.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Tell your friends. And we hope to see you right back here tomorrow morning.
Bye.